All right, here we go. Hey, everybody, it's Kyle Micklejohn here with the Kyle Micklejohn home selling team in eXp Realty and the real estate CRM website on steroids. And today I have Dan Rojas with eXp out of Orlando, Florida. So probably a little warmer there than where I'm located. I'm up in Canada and it's minus 15 today Celsius, so that's cold.
Yeah,
So,
we're at 85 degrees today, so
yeah,
nice
85.
and hot.
Yeah, so I live on the lake here, and it's frozen solid. So you probably have never even seen that before. So,
Well, I was born in Michigan, so I actually prefer the cold weather, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
This hotter weather kind of drives me nuts sometimes when it hits
Yeah.
like the 90s.
Yeah.
It's unbearable some days, especially
Yeah.
in my normal suit attire. So
Oh yeah. So okay. So anyways, Dan here is using KV Core real estate website, which I run myself, and we're just going to touch on some points of how great it is, the power of it. There's just so many different types of CRMs out there for real estate websites. There's basic versions to high-end versions, and KV Core, I would say there's a lot of high-end versions out there, but it definitely is one of the high-end versions for automation, for lead gen, just in general, keeping up with leads, keeping you top of mind, and artificial intelligence, which is really changing the industry with the database and follow-up and stuff like that. So Dan's one of the experts, and he's going to share with us his secrets as well.
So I adore KV Core. I always tell the story that before we joined eXp, I had been testing and test running a few different CRMs to see which one would be the best one for lead sources. But I was really looking for something more well-rounded, something more encompassing, right? Because we don't just want a CRM. You could pay $50 for a cheap CRM on a monthly basis, but you want something that's going to be more so integrated with follow-up systems, automations, and have the text capability as well as a smart number capability. So when we ended up switching, I was like, aha, this is exactly what we've been looking for. Yeah. So for me, it was like the end-all be-all tool. Now, some of the things that we've done here in Orlando to kind of maximize a few things is, I love to tell this story, is that I asked my wife one day if we could put a sign out front of the house, and she's like, where are we going? We're not selling the house. And I was like, no. It's gonna be on a post like a for sale sign, but it's not gonna say for sale because we're not selling the home. So what it actually says is we have a smart text number that people don't utilize a lot in KV Core, right? Mm-hmm. So when you join with eXp, they give you an automated smart number, and you can create these text codes where if anyone texts that code to the number, what ends up happening is that lead now gets dumped into your CRM, but then you can use a follow-up process to go ahead and follow up with them. So I put a sign out front of my house, believe it or not, looks just like a for sale sign, but it says, for more listings in the area, text local to 941-241-0661. And what's neat about it is, because of the capabilities that KV Core has, what it does is it automatically sends them a text saying, hey, thanks for the interest. Here's a link for all the homes in the area. So I live in 32806. So my area is called Conway. So what I've done is I've set up an automated search where it filters in every home in 32806 and 32812 that are 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. And then as soon as they click that link, automatically boots them into that. Now, obviously, I'm going to get the notifications. I'm going to get all their saves. The system's going to automatically start emailing them and texting them. And the coolest part I like about that is the fact that I actually have their real phone number, right? Because we tend to suffer a lot when we get these leads when they're just emails, right? And we have to come up with a clever way to get a hold of them, or sometimes get their phone number. But with this, it's automatically set up. Now, what's even neater about that is that I had a client drive by my house one day and said, hey, we feel bad not knowing that many people to refer you business. So if you want, you can put that sign out front of our house. So they actually allowed me to put that same exact sign on their house, which is actually on a very busy intersection. About 400 cars pass by at a stoplight in front of our house every rush hour. So twice a day, 800 cars a day are driving by there. So the amount of leads that come from that is just priceless. And all I had to do was just pay for 2 signs and a post. So,
Yeah. It's I want to touch on that here. I got something to say about that. The text message, the text message or call capture, which here I have This is just one of my coming soon sign riders, right? With the smart number and text. Every house has its own unique number. So, one of my the things that I like to share about this, and I love about the text message system with that sign rider on every single property that I have for sale. I made $37,000 in commissions off a $1.2 million listing because a buyer at 9:30 at night texted that number to get the information on the property right away. Instantly, it sends them a link to all the professional photos, the full listing of that property with all the information, plus we capture their phone number, and then automation text messages and ringless voicemails goes out within 3 minutes in my system. And then when they reply back, I jump on and finish the conversation. And those buyers over and over and over told me, you know what, we would never have bought this house if you didn't answer so quick, because we were just looking, and they put an offer in on it 2 days later.
So it's funny you mentioned that, because we actually have sign riders as well, like just the thin ones, the long ones, the 6x24s. And we actually have tailored sets of text codes. So we've got everything from pool home to waterfront to upgrade to you name it. And so what we do is we do the same thing. When we have a listing up, we put that up, we go ahead and link it to that ID for that listing, and same thing. Boom, you're able to double-side a deal so much more, or just be able to get extra buyers on top of that. And plus, it looks fantastic in front of your sellers when you're like, hey, listen, doesn't matter the time of day, it's exposing the info for your property without actually bothering you, and giving it the best maximum exposure for those buyers. So yeah, I agree that is huge. So kudos to you guys.
Now that you brought that up too, there's two things I want to point out that are huge for those, just that text message sign rider alone. Number one is in a listing appointment, you tell the seller you have the sign we'll send out automatic info 24 hours a day to people out on the curb, and somebody will reply back to it guaranteed within 3 minutes by a phone call and a text message. You'll win the listing appointment, because nobody else does that. Yeah.
Every time, hands down. I mean, you got it. Nowadays, you have to separate yourself from the pack, right? KV Core just gives you that ability. And then the creativity is all on your own. So like, for example, that sign rider that you have and the one that I have, and just the local text code out front of my house, that's not something that KV Core was like, hey, go ahead and do that. That's just the capabilities that it allowed me to use it, and you use it in that fashion. So I definitely agree, hands down. But you got to have a follow-up system. So tell us a little bit more about like your follow-up system, because mine's a little bit different than yours.
Okay, so for mine, we'll just touch on the new leads, because it works. The follow-up system, even for sold clients, it's awesome, man. So as far as for new leads for me, what I do when a lead comes in within 3 minutes, they get a ringless voicemail from me. They get a text message from me, and then I think within 10 minutes or 10 minutes later, they have an email from me with a video of a market report of me telling what the market has done in the last month. So that's and until they reply. If they don't reply, it keeps for 10 days. It's pretty aggressive, and then it mellows down to about every 2 weeks for 2 years, I believe, something like that. So that's impressive, because people don't tend to have that consistency with the follow-up. I've got some friends here in Orlando. They close anywhere between 1.6 to 2.6 a month. Now, that's millions, obviously. And they literally have this saying, and it's, we call, we text, we email until we literally get hung up on, or until they literally like unsubscribe and tell us absolutely stop calling us. And, there's a big, I think the problem a lot of people don't realize is most of those will, right? Yeah. So the big high percentage of them will say they're not interested, they'll unsubscribe to whatever. But out of 100, there's going to be at least two to four people that are going to buy. So
and something got them there originally looking at it anyway. Yeah. So sometimes it's their own fear, just saying like, oh, I'm not interested, or oh, I'm not ready at this moment. It's actually part of our job to go ahead and dive in and figure out what the rest of that is. And people tend to get afraid of asking the right questions. Yeah. I used to be guilty of that. I used to, as soon as they would say, oh, not right now, I'd be like, okay, great, have a great day. And nowadays it's different. Now I'm like, okay, let's get to the next level. Like, what is it that had you looking? Oh, we want a bigger home. Why do you want a bigger home? Yeah. Oh, because we are having kids and this one isn't as big. Oh, so now we have a home to sell as well. So
Yes.
people tend to forget that that's part of the whole follow-up process. But getting back to it, our follow-up process is a little bit different because we also run Make It Rain. Obviously, Make It Rain is huge within KV Core, the proprietary system that gets us leads via Google Ads. And so we run that, but sometimes we don't get phone numbers. So to follow up with just emails, we actually give away, so we're part of a program that gives away free vacation voucher stays. So I can give them away to Vegas, Gatlinburg, Williamsburg, Hawaii, and several different other locations throughout the planet. And what we do is we kind of incentivize them. So we'll send them an email, something to the tune saying like, hey, did you get that voucher we emailed you or we texted you the other day for your free vacation stay to Vegas? And then their minds are like, well, did you send it to the right phone number? So we use that as an incentive to get their real phone number or to get a phone number to go ahead and follow up with them some more. And the program was actually pretty cheap for the year. And we can give away as many as we want, which is nice. It's just a 3 to 5 night stay, but that's kind of like the idea behind being able to get their phone number should you not be able to get it, and you get their email address off the bat. But that's one of the follow-up programs that we use. But everyone gets a phone call and a text message and a video message within the first 24 hours. Yours is obviously faster. I like to let them breathe a little bit sometimes because sometimes they might be seeing other websites where they might get hit a few times. So we give them a little bit of space, but we hit them with a text message, we hit them with an email, and it's all introductory. So it's all like, hey, I saw that you were on the website. Everything is now so technologically advanced. I wanted to put a face to the website. So then we send a video message via BombBomb as well. And we'll introduce ourselves. Hey, Kyle, it's Dan with eXp Realty here in Central Florida. Just wanted to reach out. Saw that you were looking for homes in this area. And I'm going to go ahead and send you a few more, even though the automated system is the one that's sending it, right? So I'll say that, hey, we're going to send you a few more. And then I'd love to chat with you a little bit more about your real estate goals. Talk to you soon. Keep it short, simple, to the point, and it works 99% of the time.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, it's cool. And again, too, I know you just said it, but so everybody knows this is all automated. Automation, right? It all goes out behind the scenes. As KV Core has so a lead comes in, as soon as it comes in, it's just, I guess it comes in as a new lead, and then as soon as they talk, it automatically flips it over and changes the action plan to active lead. That's kind of getting a little too deep, but it's just, it's just cool, right? It's just,
well, the automation behind it lets us do what we're supposed to do, right? Which is figure out what their issue is, figure out the solution real estate wise, and then go ahead and help them execute their goal. That's actually our job. So that's why I love KV Core, because the automation behind it allows me to do so much more. Now, we've actually taken it a step further with even just follow-ups, right? So we've already closed these clients, but they're still in the system. We don't want to lose track of them. So we have follow-up quarterly and holiday emails as well. So KV Core, actually, I'm sure you saw it the other day, now has all the integrated birthdays as well. They just announced it, I think, like 2 weeks ago. You could manually do it before and set it up, but now it's actually like part of their whole integration. But we have quarterly and holiday emails set up from the lighter side of real estate. We have a subscription. So what we've done is we've gone ahead, tailored it out, and already set those dates in advance. And ironically enough, I just had one this past month in January. I had a client that says, hey, they replied to that quarterly email, right? The New Year email. They replied saying, hey, I don't know if you remember us. My parents were here last year. We'll be there in March. They're going to buy one. I'm going to rent, and then I'm going to buy. And the automation behind it was great because I just got the notification from the reply from the automation, and I didn't even have to do the rest of it. So just I do monthly email blasts with my market report. I do on PowerPoint with screen share, and I think I got 4 market evaluations from that alone, right? I think KV Core has that capability of doing email blasts to your whole database, right? So it's incredible. And if you take it a step further, so we have express offers, right? We have the instant offers that everybody else offers, the iBuyers. We have that in our pocket with eXp. And so we've actually developed a campaign program that goes out to specific neighborhoods. So we actually target neighborhoods where people have owned their homes for 3 to 7 years. They've got $100,000 in equity, and their household income is about $100K a year. So what we do is we target these specific homes, and we send them postcards every month, but every 3 months, we go ahead and we send them an instant express offers letter. So the letter just says something to the tune of, hey, we're in the market because obviously inventory is low. We have cash offers for you and your home. On top of that, we'll give you this vacation stay. All you have to do is visit this website and put in your address, nothing else, no gimmicks, no catches. So what ends up happening is it's an automated system once again. So these letters go out, they go ahead to the website that we give them, that we direct them to. It's a landing page that we created on KV Core. It has a little video of the vacation locations that they can pick. And then at the bottom is just an email capture. And then when they submit that, it takes them to the next page, which is just our sell page on KV Core, right? So it's the one where they punch in the address, gives them an automated CMA within under 3 minutes, automatically that they can download and review. Now what happens is we got their email, we already have their address, so we can just go door knock and go visit them. And on top of that, we have a follow-up, right? You always want to have that call to action, that follow-up. And so for us, the vacation vouchers creates that automatic follow-up. So we have to get their phone number at some point in time, right? To be able to give it to them, because it's not automated to go ahead and email them that vacation voucher stay. What we do is we just go ahead and say, hey, we're going to reach out to you. So they're paying attention to that email. So when we email them, 10 times out of 10, they're like, yeah, here's our phone number. So we just call them up and say, hey, we were just curious if you were going to be home Thursday or Friday between 5 and 7. I'm going to swing out there myself just to drop off the voucher. And I was curious what location you wanted to go to. And then what that does is that opens up the opportunity for me to get in front of them and then ask them, like, hey, out of curiosity, were you actually considering selling your home? Or were you curious? I'm just curious, for the right price, would you consider selling your home? And then from there, it's the possibilities are endless. So it's just another tool for automation.
Yeah. Geez, see, this is cool. I like talking about this stuff because now I got all these, my head's, as you're talking, I'm thinking of all the stuff I can add, right? And, and you know, I do have a lot of good stuff implemented, but I know it's just the tip of the iceberg, right?
Oh, for sure.
They're pretty powerful, right? And there's just always more we should be doing, especially mining our database, which that's kind of what I'm kind of getting into, focusing a little more, the leads that we do have, where I think we tend to kind of most people seem to fall apart with that. So after time, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So
we definitely pick up the leads on the other side of the transaction too. So whenever we have the opportunity, we go ahead and send them off a gift afterwards. It could be something small. We have a local friend here that does gift baskets for like $50.
Yeah.
So what we do is we go ahead and we send a gift basket to the other side, and then we see if we can get their email and their phone number to punch them into the CRM for the future as well. That way, eventually, I mean, most realtors are not going to follow up with their clients. I mean, let's be real. Unless they're using a system like this, they're just not doing it. And the ones who you do see doing it are the ones doing 30, 50, 60 million a year like we are. And so it tends to happen where it's just either a part-time realtor or somebody who's not really following into it. And then you've doubled your income or doubled your referral base at the very least.
Yeah. So. Yeah, for sure. And with this automation too, as we've touched up on the automation part, which really, once you get that all set up and going, it kind of is like takes a weight off your shoulders, because then your main focus is bringing in leads, right?
Yeah.
Facebook ads, and like I said, making it rain. That's just within our company, EXP, that's our exclusive Google AdWords program. But with KV Core, there is a Google AdWords program that you can get through KV Core as well, especially, and Property Boost, which is actually cool, actually. Yeah. So are you using Property Boost?
So we use it from time to time. I'll be honest, we haven't used it as much as we should. Yeah. We run on Make It Rain. So I run a personal Make It Rain for myself. We run another one for the team, and we're about to start a second team account for Make It Rain. It works. I mean, 100 to 125 leads a month for a team of, I mean, our actual organization is closer to 66, but for our team of leads, it's about 6 of us. So for that, I mean, 120, you can't beat that price. No. You really can't. I mean, we're talking under $9 a lead. And these are bona fide leads. We've closed several of them already, and it just works. I mean, and we're not talking leads that are on the cheap side. We're talking, $10,000, $12,000 commission checks here. So
yeah. So like, even I guess like the property to talk about, I guess, with KV Core, with the automation, but then the follow-up process, the lead generation process is super easy with KV Core as well, because you just go in the marketplace. You can even take your property or somebody else, other realtor's property, and you just put in the MLS number and you pick the $60 for a week, or I think it's 110 for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
or 200 for a month. Anyways, that ad will go out, that one property of yours that you're listing or you're marketing, your property, or whoever. If you don't have one, then use somebody else's. But I think on $60 for 5 days, 6 days, I think I get something like 25 leads. And what I find with those property boost leads, I find those are pretty strong leads, because I find those are actually people that are looking at houses, and that house comes into their news feed and they click on it and put in their info, because that's kind of what they're looking for. And I found those to be really strong. So
again, that's just the automation at play, because now what you're doing is you're not just tying in your automation with KV Core, you're tying in the automated AI with Facebook, because Facebook wants to work. The AI for Facebook, the bot for Facebook for the ads, the way it works is once your stipulations and criteria are already set in how you're going to pay for that ad, Facebook's going to work as hard as it can to satisfy those results so that it can get paid. And so that property boost is priceless. Like I said, we don't leverage it enough on our team, and we're going to start doing that. But it is so worth it, because then you've got 2 AI systems working for you in your favor to generate, like you said, 25 plus leads. So
in 6 days on the property that you listed. And there's another thing that your seller's going to love right there. Hey, I'll be putting your property on on a $200 whatever for the month, right? A boost. But you can't look at it as, you're spending $200 on that property. You're spending $200 for lead generation, but you're using that property. And guaranteed it's stronger. Again, those are strong leads, I found, right? For Facebook, because I think the difference between the leads with Google and Facebook are usually Google's always a little bit stronger, because people are searching for it coming in through something they search, where Facebook's just coming across their face, right? But I found with the property boost, there was just a little bit more of a stronger buyer there than normal, right? So I found. So anyways.
No, I definitely think that the KV Core is the future. They're constantly updating stuff. I mean, we're constantly getting notifications about, new templates that they've added, new automated setups. I mean, my favorite thing is when that notification comes in through the app on my phone that another lead responded to some automation that they had set up. And I'm like, okay, we're going shopping this weekend because KV Core caught something that I never would have caught in a million years.
Yeah, exactly. And it's right there in our hand, and we get a notification. Somebody just replied, my phone just dinged, and I took a look, and that's what it was. It was somebody replying to my automatic text message that looks like it's actually, I just took time and they just replied back. Right. So, hopefully it's a good reply. So maybe it's
it's always a good day when you get those notifications.
Yeah. And then boom, we just take it from there, and the whole system, as soon as we answer back, the system stops the automation, right? Kind of thing, or whatever. Anyway, so it's awesome. So, okay. Well, I think anything else you want to cover, Dan?
Those are the main ones. I mean, I could go all day, but I think those are the main ones that people need to know about to kind of implement right away. Some secrets there and the basics, and just know that it does a lot of work for you. I mean, you might have to set up some things here and there to customize what you want, but the rest of it's all handled. So that's my favorite part. So.
Yeah, me too. And that's my favorite, the most powerful part of it too, I think. One of the most, but that's the top, is that it's getting out those automations, because what it does, it gets rid of having to have an inside sales agent, right? And it just eliminates that, and that's always a huge expense to get, with the generating the leads, and then when you're running around showing houses, that's hard to keep up with that the right way too. So it's just takes a huge weight off our shoulders, and it's a game changer. So I think it's great. And anybody listening here, if they're looking for a demo, just click on the link below, and it'll guide you to a demo link and with KV Core, and you can kind of see more of it. So I guess that's it there, Dan. I think we covered a lot, and I think that was pretty interesting, even for myself. So you always learn something, right? So
Well, that's the point of these, right?
yeah, you betcha. So it's awesome. Good. I appreciate your time, and thanks for explaining it to all of us here. And
my pleasure.
Yeah, that's it. So have a great rest of your week in Orlando, and don't get sunburnt.
I know, right? Well, thank you for having me, Kyle. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.